It's called Hint Hint, Wink Wink.
Okay.
Have you thought about making a run? He said quietly, suggestively. He was calling from Florida. There was just enough articulation of the words, just enough weight on the pauses between the words to convey just the right amount of threat. Despair commingled with inertia. Lingering resentments and frustrated fears swarmed around the axis of my consciousness. Biting sandflies, no-see-ums, fucking Florida. Consciously, I pushed back. Old habits, I suppose. You mean like go for a run by the lake? I was playing along, probing. He couldn't be thinking vigorous exercise advisable under the circumstances. I continued after a beat, maybe two. Yeah, I guess it's a nice day out. I was actually considering going for a run by the lake, maybe. I lied. I didn't think my half-assed proposal was going to find traction. I didn't really expect it to. For the past several weeks, I had subsisted largely on a diet of methamphetamine, porn, videos, anime, Twitter, and candy-flavored disposable vapes. Every second or third day, I'd make a hurried trip to one of several nearby convenience stores. There, I'd anxiously purchase highly synthetic, processed, prepackaged, single-serving foodstuffs, the basics. I believe this would reduce the risk of adulterants making their way into my system unbeknownst to me. Yeah, he said crisply, perturbed at my feigned ignorance. I think you should think about making a run. The repetition hammering home the undertone of our brief and mostly one-sided conversation. I wasn't really all there. I wasn't really even certain where there was. What had it been, 2 months, 2 years, longer? How much longer? I wasn't entirely sure. I had nothing left, just some bad habits, a bad habit and a lingering gift for bullshit. Play along, bluff, try to stay in the game another hour, another day, just stay alive a little longer. Wait, see, was I still alive? I didn't really know. I'd come to that morning sweating, shivering on a small leather couch in a small one-bedroom flat on the 4th floor of a vintage brick high-rise on East Elm Street in Chicago. I had taken over the sublease to this apartment about 2 weeks earlier via a Chinese intermediary, an Airbnb host. The flat was a few blocks west of Lake Michigan and a few blocks north of the Consulate General of the People's Republic of China. Prior to taking up residency on Elm Street, I had been living in one of the host's other Airbnb listings, a much larger and much less windowed studio flat in Printers Row, directly across from Printers Row Park. However, on an inconspicuously sunny Friday afternoon, maybe 11 or 12 days ago, my host had asked me to clear out of the Printers Row apartment. Quickly. Problems, he said, with the neighbors and the property management company. He told me not to worry about leaving some of my things there for the time being. I jammed what I could into my backpack. I put some stuff into a cheap plastic laundry basket. I walked to a nearby Taco Bell. My host picked me up within minutes. How considerate of him to give me a lift, I thought. He spoke in staccato Mandarin to an elementary school daughter who was sitting in the front seat of his Mercedes SUV. She quickly clambered to the back seat. She stared at me warily in the way that only very suspicious, very young children can, for the briefest of moments before her eyes returned to her iPad.